Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful morning. It's Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from downtown Portland this morning. And we know today's going to be gorgeous, basically clear skies most of the state. We know that tomorrow is going to be a nice, sunny, warm day as well. 70s today, up and down the Willamette Valley, same thing tomorrow. The big question mark is this rain chance that we're tracking for Friday and Saturday and maybe Sunday. And the headline, if you look to the left, is that the storm center, the upper level low, all models now agree, tracks down into central California to about the Bay Area. Several days back, it looked like this low is going to park itself offshore from the northwest, and we were getting excited about a couple of days of likely showers and maybe some storms. Now look to the right. With that low moving into California, the green area here is the most likely scenario of where the rain will be over a period of a couple of days, Friday, Saturday, maybe into Sunday. Notice this is the southern half of Oregon and some pretty good soaking numbers in the southern half of Oregon. Lots of areas picking up about a half of an inch of rain to maybe even more than that along parts of the coast. But when you get up to about Lane County, Eugene, and northward, north of my red line, very little precipitation, no guarantees of any precipitation, in fact. So this is definitely a changing pattern, and the models now seem to be agreeing that we may miss out. By we, I mean any areas north of Eugene, here on the western side of Oregon, and certainly up into Washington. So more on that track coming up. All this brought to you by the Momentous Wealth podcast. You can listen to these investment topics meant to educate you on Apple Podcast and on Spotify, brought to you by local firm Momentous Wealth Management. I use them for my retirement planning, licensed in Oregon and in Washington. Okay, I've got one more map I want to show you here. Let me hold on. Here we go. I don't think I've shown you this yet. You may have already seen this. It came out the back half of last week. The Pacific Northwest outlook for the months of May, June, and July from NOAA, warm and dry. And in fact, if you look to the left, most of the country is in the above normal temperature department, certainly all of the West, and much of the West, certainly Oregon and Washington, in a below normal temperature projection, again, for the months of May, June, and July. I hope to start bringing you more on what makes sense in terms of how many 90-degree days Portland could have, for example, as early as next week for the summer season. I've been looking at that, but I will share with you that we are on a run in Portland and much of the Willamette Valley of 4 consecutive summers where we've had 20 degrees, I'm sorry, 4 consecutive summers of 20 90-degree days or hotter. We've never had that before. In fact, we had never gone more than two back-to-back hot summers with 20 plus 90-degree days. And all of a sudden, if we do it this summer, and there's a lot of indications that we will, it would be the fifth one in a row. More signs that our summers are actually one of the biggest illuminations of how our climate, going back the last 20, 30 plus years, certainly back the last 20 years, is definitely changing. One of those is stored water by the end of spring up in the Cascades is far less now. Not that we're getting less precipitation, but the melt off is happening quicker. And number two, all of a sudden, what used to be normally a dozen hot 90-degree days, maybe, is now 20 or more. So anyway, we're going to get more into that, much more into that coming up next week. I've been spending quite a bit of time looking at that. Okay, with that said, let's talk about this weather that may or may not be hitting where you are. Here's a satellite picture this morning. Notice clear skies, Oregon and Washington. The exception, a little bit of cloudiness along the south central Oregon coast up into southern Harney and Malheur County, some cloudiness and some showers. Low up in the Gulf of Alaska, cold front here. Low north of Hawaii, producing a lot of lightning, by the way. That's what you see in the bright colors. But right in here, this low kind of comes and helps build energy, and the mothership low of the rain chances for Friday, Saturday into the weekend is going to be developing in this area and then making a beeline over into about San Francisco. The northern part of this really kind of dissolves and brings in very little energy and very little moisture. And as I mentioned, much of Oregon, north of Eugene, might miss out. So here's the European model, and this is the upper level flow at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. This is this afternoon. Little disturbance right here in the corner of northern Nevada. California and southern Oregon. Again, that's the only area getting any clouds and any rain chances today. Outside of that, we're basically clear, including the coast, and it's just marvelous. We'll have a sunny, warm day on Thursday, and then we're going to stop this Friday morning. Here we are Friday morning. Here comes that low that at one point was going to be off of our shoreline from Oregon and Washington, but now, as I mentioned, it's tracking into California. Now, this has positive vorticities, all these red and yellow colors, little impulses of energy, upper level disturbances embedded in the flow around the enclosed contour, which is the low right here. This is clearly pushing most of the energy into California. I'll just play. Here we are Friday afternoon. If anything, the energy even dives farther south into California, up into eastern Oregon, very little here on the western portion of Oregon or Washington. And then we play this in Saturday morning. Here's the low now making it inland south of San Francisco. Again, most of the energy in the upper flow pattern is in southern Oregon and really east of the Cascades. That's Saturday morning. Very little change Saturday afternoon. Now the low is spinning, pushing across inland central California. Here's Sunday. Now, Sunday, we get a northwest flow of moisture coming in, but I think it's mostly just low cloud cover. Some of the modeling putting out maybe some traceable amounts of light rain Sunday. You can see there's a little energy there. And then we're mainly dry on Monday. Here's Monday. What was that California lows now all the way over Utah and pushing into the Rockies and up into Wyoming. And we don't have much going on. I think this is going to play, well, it's going to play me into Monday overnight. Back in here, it doesn't show up on this particular view as our next weather system that will bring us the threat of rain on Tuesday. So here's the water vapor. It's another way to look at the same thing. This is the American GFS model. This is Thursday morning, okay? And let me just grab the slider and just play this through the day Thursday. You've got moisture coming in, not necessarily rain, but moisture in terms of cloudiness coming into California. Some increasing in terms of high, thin cirrus clouds, we think, in the skies here in Oregon. And then let me play this into Friday morning. So here's Friday morning. Now it looks like there's a shield of potential cloudiness and maybe some rain up into Oregon, right? But as I play this, the deeper moisture pockets are the green. So here's Friday afternoon. And again, the green, the deeper moisture pockets are on a line that's near Eugene and south. Down in here, we see that little curl. That's where the upper level low is, okay? And let me just keep playing this. Again, here we go Saturday afternoon, the deepest moisture spinning southern and eastern Oregon. Actually, this shows a dry slot over Portland down into about Newport with the upper level low now pushing inland across California. And now, as we go into Sunday, you can see the different flow coming in from the northwest. It gives us some low cloudiness. I don't think much in the way of measurable rainfall. And then this is going to play into here's Tuesday. Now we got a heightened bit of moisture coming in, and I think this will be some rain with a weak front that comes in Tuesday daytime. So what about moisture models? I'm going to show you several, and they all basically show you the same thing. This is meant to really drive home. I got a message from a hay farmer who put some seed out, I guess, who was really hoping for some rain coming up in the next few days, and really disappointed to hear that we may not get that. Here's the European, and I'm just going to play this through Saturday afternoon. Here's through Saturday afternoon. Look at this. You've got rain on the southern half of Oregon and extending northward up into the blues out east. Nothing in Portland, very little from Lincoln County northward along the coast. But it does show a half to 8/10 of an inch of rain in parts of southern Oregon, okay? And then this, I'll play it Sunday. There's low level moisture. This is showing maybe some traceable amounts of light rain up north, but really very little. The big show is down south, okay? So let's now switch. That was, what am I showing you? The European model. Let's take a look at the American GFS model, and let's back it up. Here's Friday. Here's Saturday. I'll play this into Sunday. Same thing. Moisture, eastern Oregon, southern half of Oregon, maybe some traceable amounts up to the north. Again, a half to about an inch of rain over parts of southern Oregon, okay? All right. And not much of any rain chance up in Seattle whatsoever. Let's look at one more model just to kind of drive home the point. Here's the Canadian. Is he going to show the same thing? Well, here's Sunday, rain totals, same thing. Yeah. So you get the idea that we may, in fact, not get any rain in Salem, in Portland, and certainly up into Seattle for this upcoming days of Friday, Saturday into Sunday. Certainly a possibility that we don't. Okay, so with that said, let's go around the horn. Medford, this is going to show some rain. Thursday, chances of rain begin. Friday, Saturday. This dries you out on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. So that makes sense. North Bend, rain on Friday, Saturday, and we're down south. Temperatures in the 50s, drying out on Sunday. Okay. Out in Pelton, is this going to be, this shows a chance of showers on Friday and Saturday. Getting out toward the Blues, remember there was that northward surge of some shower activity in eastern Oregon. This could come with some thunder and lightning, by the way. Temperatures in the 70s. Okay. 66 out there today. Really nice. Up in Seattle, 65 today, 72 tomorrow. A chance of showers looks, yeah, notice the word slight. Most models agree now that Seattle will stay dry. We'll see Friday and Saturday. And then some cloudiness going in the first of the week, but mainly dry until that system comes in on Tuesday. Okay. Salem, chance of showers Friday and Saturday, but could stay dry. Same thing into Sunday. And then you've got the best chance of rain actually is on Tuesday of next week. 71 today, 73 tomorrow. Really nice couple of days of weather. Eugene, now the showers likely on Friday. Remember, Eugene's on that northern edge. Chance of showers Saturday and Sunday. Good chance of some rain coming in Tuesday. Actually, the chance of rain in Eugene and southern areas on Tuesday not as great as from Portland northward. 69 today, 71 tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, okay, let's go ahead and show you my 7-day forecast for Portland then. So for today, probably not literally a cloud in the sky, just gorgeous, 73. Tomorrow, 77. We warm up, we start getting some high cirrus cloudiness. Partly sunny skies and a south moist weather flow on Friday. We will be unstable. And you can make the case that there will at least be the potential of some scattered showers migrating south to north up the Willamette Valley, but not a guarantee. And if we do get some showers, they may be few enough and widely scattered enough that a lot of people don't get any rain. But for now, I'm going to leave that chance in the forecast, including a thunderstorm. But you get the idea, this is only a chance. And Saturday, a grayer day, no storm chance. And again, no guarantee that we get rain, but for now, I'll leave a chance of scattered showers in. Sunday, morning cloudiness might bring some traces of moisture and then becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon. Monday's dry, and the best chance of rain out of all these days, in terms of anything being widespread, is absolutely Tuesday of next week at this point. And keep in mind, boy, April, I've said this multiple videos now, the outlooks for April were cool, were active, were wet. All of a sudden, it's been 2 weeks since much of Oregon has had any widespread rain that amounted to 2/10 or even a quarter of an inch. The last time we saw that was around April 7th. We're all of a sudden nearing, we're over an inch below normal for the month here in Portland. And all of a sudden, our surplus of rain that we had built up over the winter months, the water year going back to October 1 is 29.07 for Portland. All of a sudden, we're now in deficit zone of a half of an inch. And overall, the models just don't show a lot of rain the remainder of this month. So, and then we're into that outlook period that, if NOAA is correct, is warmer and drier than normal for the months of May, June, July. And again, I will repost probably tomorrow, give you the latest update on the shower chance or lack thereof for the back half of this week. And then next week, we'll start getting into more of what makes sense for the summer. For now, I'm Rod Hill. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me out. You'll be notified when I post. I'll talk to you soon.